everybody. How's everybody doing today? Well, that was better than I thought the response was going to be. I was pretty impressed. Was it the coffee or the Chick-fil-A? I don't know. What was it? So, first of all, everybody have a chance to get some Chick-fil-A or some coffee? Okay, great. Just so you know, I'm supposed to, first of all, they were kind enough to donate this for this event today. And I promised Ramon that I would tell everybody that Chick-fil-A does have breakfast. Let's all say it again. Does Chick-fil-A have breakfast? Yes, yes. So go there for breakfast, okay? When Tropical Smoothie Cafe has some tropical smoothies on here, you'll get the, all right. I hear you. So first of all, welcome everybody. Thanks for taking the time. I'm Jeff Weinstein. I'm the councilman at Ocean Township, and I'm the chairman of our newly created Economic Development Committee. Robert Chera is with me today. He's a longtime councilman here, and he's also the vice chairman of our committee. So we're kind of getting all this going today. This is actually our first event. First thing we're trying to do is this new committee. The committee was kind of formed. I joined the council at the beginning part of the year, and this is kind of our first event to kind of start getting economic development in a bunch of different areas kind of going, okay? Just a little bit about me, just to know that I'm on the same side of the table as all you. So I've been an entrepreneur. I probably had 4 or 5 businesses that I've started. I'm currently the CEO of a software company today. So I know what it means to kind of start a business, grow a business, and how that works. And that's why I was excited to kind of start chairing this Economic Development Committee, kind of figure out how to bring this back to help small businesses and businesses in general, thrive in our town. Okay, I'm also executive in residence at Monmouth University, so I'm good friends with Allison Gilbert. I support her in her efforts, and I'm also on the Technology Advisory Committee for the NJEDA. So I had some connections there, so that's why Albert's able to join us today. Just a couple of things. So one is just with us today is Robert Chera, who's also going to be speaking for a couple of minutes about the Greater Ocean Township Chamber of Commerce, which he is a board member of, so he's going to give you a couple of minutes about that. Jacqueline Fuentes is the regional director for the New Jersey Small Business Development at Brookdale Community College, so she's here with us as well. Allison Gilbert is in the back, and she'll be up here as well. She's the director at the Center for Entrepreneurship. Albert Gardio, is that right? I can never do that part, but I can do my part. Is a small business liaison at the New Jersey Economic Development Authority. And with me today are Brandon and Mark. They're interns at Monmouth University who kind of helped put this together, so we kind of got them engaged in this as well. So just a couple of things I just want to kind of share with you about the Economic Development Committee that we put together and some of our goals. Okay, and by the way, all these goals are kind of tied for first. Just because I'm listing one doesn't mean it's any important than the other couple, all right? One is really to facilitate programs and policies that really help our town thrive on the economic development side. Small businesses, current businesses, how do we help infrastructure and policies that actually help us do better business in this community? So that's like the number one thing. Not the number one thing, that's one thing. The other is provide awareness on the business opportunities that the Netflix project in Oceanport kind of present to us. And so we're going to be spending a fair amount of time over the months to come to tell people about the kind of things that the Netflix project offers us as a community, and how businesses in our community and new businesses that want to establish themselves in our community can kind of take advantage of that. So we're going to be going through that. The other is we want to improve just generally the business look, feel, infrastructure that we have in our area. So Route 35 and different areas inside town that need to have improvement, so more business can be done here, so it's actually more appealing to do business, that we can figure out how to bring businesses to attract to this community that actually can thrive and actually stand the test of time and help our community grow. Okay, so those are kind of the main things that we're doing. We have developed a committee so far, and we have 5 companies that are kind of working with us. There's Blue Swan, Portside Luxury, Manasquan Bank, Chick-fil-A, and Seaview Square Mall, and they also own Cobblestone. Those people are in our committee right now. We're going to be adding probably another 5 or so companies to our committee to get a better diversity and perspective of what's going on. So if you're interested in being part of it, feel free to talk to me about it. Um, just to also be kind of clear, so this committee is not the only method that we're going to be using to kind of help us figure out what we're doing. We are going to be making subgroups, which involve realtors, residents, professional organizations, and kind of getting some voices from those groups to kind of understand the things that we're trying to accomplish. So whether you're part of this committee or not part of the committee, your voice will be able to be heard, and you'll be able to have some input on what we're kind of trying to do here. Okay. Today, I just want you to know that I'm really happy to have all these speakers kind of being here with us. I really want to thank everybody that kind of put this together. Rob, the presenters, also Tom Rue for broadcasting this, and just people to kind of help them set up the facility. Just want to appreciate everybody. Also with me in the back right now is our Councilwoman Gita Kaplan. She's here as well, so she was helped supportive of this also. So in today, there's going to be a lot of things that are going to be discussed. Some of the things probably pertain to you really well. Some of the things don't pertain to you. You know, if you're able to glean a couple of things that make sense for you, you know, take those are the walkaways we like you to get. Regardless of what regardless of what you hear today, you should feel free though to contact any of the presenters, myself, and I'll be happy to figure out how to help you. I'm always able to be available to anybody here who wants to talk about how to grow their business and help you in those areas, right? I'm always available. So with that, let me have Rob Chera up, and he will talk about the Greater Ocean Township Chamber of Commerce.
Thank you, Jeff. Welcome, everybody. We appreciate you attending today. Let me do also another intro. Former deputy, he doesn't like the term former, but former Deputy Mayor Rich Long is here as well, so we appreciate your support. Former, I know, right? He can explain the former.
Who are you again?
Yeah, exactly. And if I can ask, Regina's here somewhere. Come on up, Regina. Come on up, Regina. Yeah, that's all right. That's okay. Keep going. That's probably more important at this point. So let's talk about economics in town and throughout the state and throughout the country. Good news is unemployment is down, GDP is up, wages are up, oil prices are down. What does that all mean? Consumer confidence is up. What does that all mean? Hopefully it means that there are more people in Ocean Township and throughout this area that are your customers that are going to have the opportunity to spend money with you. How are you going to take advantage of that? As Jeff said, hopefully we're going to be able to provide a lot of resources for you from an economic development committee perspective, but also from a Chamber of Commerce perspective. It's important that right now you are ready to handle whether it's Netflix or any expansion in the area. Get out there, be able to reach your maximum, and also make sure that you are visible to these organizations that are looking for specifically Netflix, probably some of your services if that so does apply. Having said that, the chamber is very important because you are able to connect with hundreds, if not thousands, of other businesses in the area. The Chamber of Commerce has been around for 40 years.
Yeah, the 40th anniversary.
Right, 40. I was going to use 35. There are a lot of benefits to that. The biggest, again, is the networking and the education that we provide. So whether it's things like AI, and let's face it, I don't care if you're a realtor, if you're a small business owner, if you own a diner, if you own a diner, AI is going to affect you one way or the other. Jump on board now before it's too late. You want to be ahead of the curve, or at least on the ship before it sails away, if you will. So those are some of the things that we do. I'm going to introduce Regina Longo, who's our executive director, to give you a quick explanation of how you can join the chamber.
Thank you for having me too. I appreciate this opportunity. Jeff, I think this is a great idea to put these events together like this too, because the Chamber of Commerce is trying to help the small businesses. We know they are the lifeline of the community. I think one of the biggest advantages of the Greater Ocean Township Chamber of Commerce is our relationship with the town council. We work together on events. We work together on supporting each other and marketing each other's things. We have whenever there's a new business coming to town, we'd love to welcome them with a big grand opening, ribbon cutting ceremonies and promotions and anything that we can to get them off to a good start. So if somebody had a new business, please reach out to us and let us know about it, and we'll connect with the town council and we'll be there for you. I'm also here today because I want to promote an event that we're having next week. We are having one of our signature events, our annual Consumer and Business Expo. We are at Jumping Brook Country Club on Tuesday the 10th from 5 o'clock to 7:30 p.m. We have press communications, great partnership with them. Robbie and Rochelle from the morning show will be there with us. We have a lot of great vendors, and it's a combination of food vendors, crafters, as well as small and large businesses in the community. So it's a free event and open to the public, so hopefully if you are able to come, I have a couple of flyers I'll leave over here. But go to the gotcc.org website and register to be there. Again, it's free for everybody, and we'd love to have you. It's a great opportunity if you're not a member of the Chamber of Commerce to meet, or a lot of our board members will be there. A lot of our businesses will be there. You can talk to them and find out more about it. We will be there with a table offering discounts on memberships. We're getting close to 200 members, which is a pretty good size for a regional Chamber of Commerce. We are the Greater Ocean Chamber, so it's not just Ocean Township, it's also the surrounding communities. And our goal is really similar to the Town Council. We're here to make Ocean Township and the surrounding areas a great place to live, to work, and to raise your family. So welcome to any questions. I'll leave some business cards also, and I'd love to help you and have you join if you're not already a member.
Thank you, Regina.
Thank
Any
you.
questions for us? Good, because
June
we'll keep the
10th,
program
5
going.
o'clock.
Have a great day, folks.
So now I'd like to have Jacqueline from Brookdale Community College come up and share with you her efforts here. Good?
Yeah, oh,
Okay.
not this yet. Okay. There we go. Good morning, everyone.
Morning.
Yeah, that's the professor in me. Never need a mic. Speak loud. My name is Dr. Jacqueline Mejias Fuertes. I am the Regional Director of the Small Business Development Center at Brookdale Community College, and we cover both Monmouth and Ocean County. About myself, I have been with the SBDC now going on 18 years. Like most of you, an entrepreneur at one point in my life. I continue to be an entrepreneur. Everyone has a side hustle, even I, right? That being said, one of the things that I am most passionate about is entrepreneurship as well as small business ownership. And the reason I say that is because I know the importance of small businesses to our local communities. And for us, that is what we do at the Small Business Development Center. Show of hands, how many of you know about the Small Business Development Center? Great. Want to see more hands up in the future, right? We've been around for about 48 years, especially at Brookdale Community College. We were part of the pilot program when the SBDC came to the state of New Jersey in partnership with Rutgers University. Today I am going to talk to you about the SBDC and about the Venture Hive, which are two things that Brookdale Community College is doing. And if we really look at it, why do local entrepreneurs matter to us? And the reason behind it is that we know that mainstream businesses are, they're not just storefronts. They're the organizations that create jobs, culture carriers, and engines of local resiliency. Talk about economic development. That's why we're here to make sure that you are aware of the resources that we provide for you. In terms of the economy, you've heard it over and over again. Small businesses are the backbone of our economy. They're the ones that are going to drive innovation. Most individuals, when they start or get into the workforce, who's employing them? Small businesses. So we want to make sure that we're supporting small businesses in order for them to continue to be sustainable. In both Monmouth and Ocean County, in case you're not aware, 97% are small businesses. And when I say that is because we use the standards provided by SBA, which happens to be one of our funders. I was just talking with a gentleman because he goes, how are you funded? As we were talking about our services, we are funded in part by the Small Business Administration, the Business Action Center, our host institution, which ours happens to be Brookdale Community College, and private entities. The caveat there is, in order for us to get federal dollars, we have to come up with the match of non-federal dollars. So, when people think, oh, you're getting federal dollars, no. Unless we do our job of raising and finding support, we don't get the federal dollars. So that's just a little info for you guys. So that being said, again, our small businesses, we know that if you're strong, the economy in the community is strong, and we want to make sure that you are aware of all the services that are available. Our SBDC, Who do we focus on? Anyone who's interested in small business, whether you're a local small business already running or you're an entrepreneur that has an idea. We're the ones that we want you to come to us because of the resources we have. The beauty of our resources, and I'll go more into services in a bit, is our free, confidential, no-cost counseling. At no time will you ever meet with an SBDC that's going to charge you for counseling. That being said, when you look at this map, this is to show you that the SBDC is not just local here in Monmouth and Ocean, but we have 9 centers covering the whole entire state of New Jersey, covering all 21 counties. Again, why is this important? Entrepreneurs, you guys are deeply rooted in your community. You know, you're here because your community is important to you. You want to make sure that it continues to thrive, right? You're the one that's bringing pride into your area. You want to make sure that you are invigorating your community. So by supporting local small businesses, we're helping you create long-term community strength and resiliency. We want to make sure that you're around for a good deal of time. That being said, we've gone through so many programs that are SBDC, one of which is creating an accelerator. One of the accelerators that we did with the city of Long Branch, and this was a few years ago, they were the ones that helped us create this pilot program. We just wanted you to hear from Chris and Avery Griffin and their story. They started online, were looking for brick and mortar, came to us, and this is just a cute short video on them. I forgot about the volume. Oh, no. Not my laptop. Can I get the audio?
Be a healthy lifestyle. Just like Avery, have a passion for health and wellness. Chris, he's my older cousin. He did some studying over in London in holistic health. That's why I reached out to him. When Avery had presented this idea of developing a health and wellness company, I was all about it. We wanted to be in the supplement space, we wanted to get into meal prep, and then eventually we narrowed our focus down to the juices. The NJ SBDC network kind of mentored us and connected us with the right people. So at the end of the day, it's like who you connect with is who you're going to trust.
The NJ SBDC helped us secure funding, which allowed us to upgrade our equipment,
really pointing us in the direction where we could build a strong foundation for ourselves. If you want to endure and if you want to be successful, you got to stay in the fight.
As an entrepreneur, we all go through struggles. The best entrepreneurs are able to navigate through the storm. So reach out to try and find a mentor in your space and see what they did to get themselves to the next level.
Okay, that was a little clip on them. Oops, move along so the video won't play again. So that was just a little clip of how they succeeded by going through our accelerator program. And partly was, again, they were online, they were looking to create a brick and mortar, but most importantly, Long Branch was the one that helped fund this program. Why? They were looking for entrepreneurs and small business owners to keep them in the community. These 2 young men, I could see them going off to California and hitting a home run. But their focus was they were born and raised in Long Branch, and that's where they wanted to stay. Our goal was to make sure this is where they stayed. All right. So again, through them, they have been one of our award winners. Next to them, part of that same accelerator program was Sing Spinner. They came in with a prototype. By the time they left the program, they came in with a prototype that was taped up. By the time they left, they were manufacturing. Right? So it's just to give you an idea of where we start with people and do we really end with them? Absolutely not. That being said, in the top, my left-hand side, We Care Adult Care, the owner there, she started with the SBDC over 20 years ago. She continuously comes to us when she needs assistance. She's a small business owner. She's located in Middletown. So it's just to give you an idea of how we continue to help individuals reach those dreams, and that it just doesn't stop with one session. And our goal always is to communicate with you, connect with you, and see where is it that we can assist you in moving forward. So part of our services. So one of the things that we offer, and I mentioned earlier, is our no-cost counseling. We do one-on-one counseling. It's no cost and it's confidential. Why? You're going to talk to us about some financial matters that perhaps you don't want anyone else to know about. It's important for us to know that the conversations you have with us stay private. Each individual's needs are different. We offer an array of resources as well as information. Our goal is to educate you. We're here to make sure that by educating you, you make the best decisions possible for your business. Education for us is key. That's why you will always find an SBDC hosted at a higher education institution. For us, along with that, you can see right here, there's a whole list of all different types of workshops that we offer. We help you get ready for funding, loan packages, e-commerce, digital marketing, regular marketing. It's important for you to understand your finances. I'm surprised at how many people don't get their 3 basic statements and what they mean to them and not having them readily available to them. That's critical. You know, one thing that I learned from running the Small Business Development Center, my budget would always dictate what I can and cannot do. That's applicable to everyone, right? So that being said, one of the things that comes out of our headquarters, which is housed at Rutgers University, the Newark campus under the business school, they offer some specialized training. So if you are a business that deals with technology, they have special programs for you, helping you find those grants that are available for you so you could continue doing research and development. Along with that, they also have international trade. You may have a local business, but if you're online, believe me, you could do international trade. Our goal is to make sure that we provide you with the information and the know-how on how to get there, because that's an additional revenue stream. It does not have to stay within your borders. Along with that, we do have, if you are a veteran, one of our sister centers has an online veterans program that's pretty amazing, and it's at no cost to a veteran, and their family members as well. And then we do partner with chambers and different business organizations to make sure that you're getting the resources that you need. One of the things that our SBDC is known for really is about the hub that we've created in the past few years. This is just some impact information, which there's a flyer there at the table, as well as more information on different programs that we offer, just letting you know what we've done between the year 2023 and 2024. And this is just for our center. This is not for the entire network. I mean, I know on average, we help over 100 new businesses every year start. You know, that's on average per year. We help create jobs as well as save jobs, and the amount of training events that we have, over 100 per year. You know, and these training events, while some may have a minimal cost, most of them are free. We are doing some in person. I feel people are not showing up as much as they should for the in-person, but we also do webinars. But in person, I think you get more out of it. And then what I do want to share with you is in terms of that, and this is statewide, that clients generated more than $143 million in sales revenue. So every business that we're helping in terms of the economics, not just of our local municipalities, counties, but statewide as well. So this is the hub that I was talking about. When we're looking at what the resources are that the SBDC provides, we know we're not the end all for everyone. We're not. We can't, I wish we could. Resources don't allow that. That being said, we have this amazing resource hub that we partner with a great deal of different entities throughout the states. Part of that hub is that we get government support. We work with business associations. We work with different chambers of commerce, as well as economic development engines throughout the entire state. Definitely a small business. And when we work with small businesses, the interesting point there is, if you are a business that offers consulting, reach out to us. Maybe we need your services to help one of our clients, and you can work through us as well. And then most importantly, educational institutions. As I mentioned before, education is key. If you want to prosper, you need to educate yourself. We're into the job of making sure we're educating you so you can make the right decision for your business organization. And how are you going to do that? Through education and our one-on-one counseling and advisement that we offer as well. And then in terms of Brookdale Community College, one of the things that, while I am also the regional director of the Small Business Development Center, I am the lead at Brookdale Community College's Venture Hive Entrepreneurial Ecosystem. And this ecosystem is a platform for growth and collaboration. We realize I have an amazing president at Brookdale Community College, Dr. David Stout. He realized the importance of trying to create a regional entrepreneurial ecosystem, making sure that we're connecting with all the correct resource partners available, not just statewide, federal, but locally as well. So hence the development of the Venture Hive Entrepreneurial Ecosystem. It has 4 pillars basically. One, creating a pathway into entrepreneurship, making sure that our students and our community know the opportunities that exist if you want to be an entrepreneur. You'll be surprised when you have an idea and you don't know where to go with it. That's part of what we do at the Venture Hive, creating those pathways for you. Second, we've created an online platform. So you want to get involved, you'll see there's a QR code that you can scan, and the part of that, the part of the VHive, the online platform, is to give you a place where you can go and find the resource information that you need on your own. Not all of us are willing or have the time to have these extensive conversations, but this is a pathway for you to just get in and say, hey, I need to find a lender, you'll find a lender there. I need to connect with the Business Action Center, I could connect through there. I need to find, and Jeff will be on it too, because we're going after all the EDOs in our county as well. So we're working on that. Part of the other pillar is collaboration. One of the things that we realize is that we go further when we go together. And I know that when you start a business or a small business, sometimes you feel like I'm doing this on my own. I want you to know you're not on your own. Through the Small Business Development Center, which is part of the Venture Hive, and the Venture Hive, you're not doing this on your own. We're here to assist you any which way we can. And if we can't, we'll make sure to connect you with other entities that could definitely assist you with that. So the program is a movement to cultivate inclusivity, innovation, and community ownership. And I'm almost done here. These are the 2 codes, QR codes that you can scan. As you can see, Venture Hive is here. If you scan that, it'll take you to a website, give you more information on the Venture Hive. One of the things that we've done through the Venture Hive is actually created a 10-week accelerator program on the Venture Hive, which was open to the community as well as Brookdale students. So this is if you're a student, as long as you're over 18, definitely you can scan. And from there, the beauty of the Venture Hive is one of the things that the SBDC cannot do for you is give you money. We don't have that power. However, we do have the insight in making sure that we're able to prepare you as best as possible. So when you apply for a loan, Manasquan Bank, because I was just informed that we had an event and one of the individuals who attended the event is actually working with Manasquan Bank. Our job is to connect you, but not just connect you, making sure you're prepared properly before you're connected. Because some people just want to go at it and the bank is going to turn around and go, yeah, no. You know, our goal is for that yeah, no to turn like into a hell yeah, right? So that's what we're looking to do. So that's under the Venture Hive, we had the accelerator. We were able to receive funding under the accelerator where those that participated were able to receive seed capital. It was a competition. You know, they went through the 10-week program, top 3 received seed capital, and it was thanks to NACE, the Entrepreneurial, National Association of Community Colleges and Entrepreneurship program. They gave us funding for that. On my right, you are going to have the QR code for the business counseling. Again, our business counseling, any SBDC is totally free. I advise you to look, sign up, visit our website whenever you have a chance. There's a plethora of webinars that we have that come out of our state office and our sister centers. Think of a topic that you're having a concern about, rest assured we're doing something about it. I know Rob mentioned AI. We are knee deep in AI, or I should say up to our necks at this point. So we do have classes running on AI, getting you comfortable with AI. I know that some of you are having hesitation, but I agree with Rob. If you're not getting involved on how to use AI, and my thing is to use it responsibly, ethically, and with integrity, you're gonna be left behind. So I wanna take the fear out of that. That's what we're doing in our office. We're providing just the basic essential classes for those that are at that stage, but those that are advanced, we have advanced classes for that. So I urge you to definitely scan one or both to see where that's going to take you, but you can sign up for counseling just by scanning this QR code. And again, our counseling is at no cost to you. So with that, I thank you, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask. I know there were quite a few of you that were talking, and I see Jeff over here walking towards me. I know what that means, Jeff. I've been there. So I do want to add one thing. Jeff had asked questions, right, when we sent out the invitations. And part of it, when I was reading the questions, a lot of you are focusing on employment. How do I get someone to help? How do I get an intern, right? I want you to know workforce development is a place to go, depending on who you're looking to hire. Higher education institutions as well. However, in talking with some colleagues, I realized that there's a gap between what businesses know about hiring an intern and actually doing it and what it takes. That being said, when we see a gap, we identify it and we do something about it. So I'm just letting you know that in the coming month or months, we will be having a workshop on how to help you get ready. If an intern is what you want, how do you go about doing that? Because we do it at Brookdale. You'll hear Allison talk to you about Monmouth University, you know, and workforce development is a whole different opportunity. Also, if you want to know more about it or hiring even someone from Rutgers, I have a flyer there that at the end of the month on the 30th, there will be a resource fair up at Rutgers University, and there's going to be a whole panel discussing just that topic. So with that, I thank you. If you have any questions, please by all means come see me. I have some resource material on the table, especially generic, so this way you can get an idea of all the things that we are able to provide you with. With that, thank you for your time.
Thank you, Jacqueline. Also, I do want to say I want to thank Jacqueline and Julian for the work that they did, helping us put together brochures, the registration online, the website, all that kind of stuff. It was really helpful. And I'm assuming you could all get the energy that Jacqueline has for small businesses and all the work she's doing. So it's great. And she's going to be here at the end. So if you want to spend some time with her, feel free to do that. So now I'd like to have Allison Gilbert come up and from Monmouth University, and she is the director of the Center for Entrepreneurship. Okay, I think this is all you, right?
Yeah,
Okay.
thank you.
All right.
Thanks, Jacqueline. Thanks,
Hi.
Jeff, for having me, and to the committee for having me. I'm Allison Gilbert. I'm the director of the Center for Entrepreneurship here at Monmouth University. I'm a Monmouth County native. I grew up down the street off Monmouth Road in Interlaken. I went to Deal School over here. My brother played football at Ocean, so I actually ran a bakery in Ocean Grove, New Jersey, right after college, and that's where I was en route to law school. Wasn't really passionate about it, couldn't answer the question why I wanted to be a lawyer. So I followed my passion for cooking and ended up working at that bakery in Ocean Grove, and that sort of gave me the little spark to continue to follow that. So I moved to New York, and I was all set to open up my own brick and mortar bakery in New York City. I went to culinary school, and I got a job at a private dining club in Midtown. And then I said, before I do that, I kind of want to get involved in food media. It was just a thought I had. And then next thing I knew, I was at a food media startup, and I became the COO there. And then we scaled that into a multi-million-dollar business. So food was what got me there. Then it became very, very clear that I loved this whole getting something from 0 to 60. And I went off and did that for another media company in the health and wellness space. And then from there, I started an incubator for early stage businesses in the city. Ran that for a little over 10 years, moved back down here right before the pandemic actually, continued to do a lot of that incubator work remotely. My mom's been an adjunct at Monmouth, and she got her master's at Monmouth. I grew up with Monmouth in my backyard. I went to soccer camp there, and ended up getting the job to build out and run the center. Monmouth was looking to reinvigorate and reimagine what entrepreneurship and innovation means at the university and in the region. So we're about 3 years in. We've supported about 100 businesses across community events and incubation experiences, and I can share more about that. Our mission is to really, help the regional startup and small business communities tap into and fulfill their entrepreneurial potential. We offer coaching, we offer business building resources, we offer learning opportunities, to really help, businesses bring their ideas to life. I mean, I think I came down here with a special connection to the area. I see that there's a lot of opportunity for entrepreneurial potential and resources and connection and collaboration down here in Monmouth and Ocean. And we've just been building the center as a means to help convene and connect and cross-collaborate, really lean into innovation, but that doesn't just mean a technology business. That means innovative approaches to how you might be doing something in a Main Street business. So we host things like how to get venture capital, but all the way to, Main Street innovators who are reimagining retail and everything in between. To date, we've incubated about 30 businesses in our eLab incubator program. We have an online, self-guided, self-paced, milestone-based incubator experience online. We have strategy coaches who guide you through that experience, and it provides the building blocks for how to get your business started, from mindset work to even if you think you have an idea but don't totally know what to do with that idea, we help you figure out what is the most aligned idea for you and your passions and your mission and the impact and wealth opportunity. And so we've had about 30 businesses go through that. I can talk a little bit more about that incubator and experience in a moment. I think our programming kicked off about 2.5 years ago. Since then, we've deployed about $25,000 of non-dilutive capital. Well, we haven't, but our companies have received $25,000 of non-dilutive capital through our help and support to help them get there, and we're always looking to continue to grow access to capital opportunities. We've won a few awards for our programming and their effectiveness, and we've been partnering with a local community organization called Jersey Shore Tech. They're about 10 years old in the space, and they had been convening and connecting around innovation and tech in the out of Asbury Park, but in the Monmouth area. They decided to reinvigorate their initiative coming out of the pandemic, and they've made the Center for Entrepreneurship their home. So we've been hosting all sorts of community events around AI, around different innovative ideas for fundraising and capital, for how to get customers. We've just been doing a whole host of events with them, along with a bunch of other community organizations in the area that focus on small businesses as well. Core programming, eLab Incubator, we do a pitch competition. This has been for students, so if you're looking to connect with students, that's another way to connect and support within our ecosystem. We're always looking to do more potential competitions with the outside community as well, the regional community, in addition to alumni. And then we have our community space where we host events. But just a little bit more about that eLab Incubator, which is kind of the backbone of what we do. It's open to the community. The best way to feel out if it's the right fit for you is to just get in contact with me. I have my business cards in my pocket here, so I'm happy to chat after the presentations. But like I said, I've probably incubated about over 100 businesses in my career to date, and this is sort of that mix of mindset work that you might not think you need to know, some deeper reflection work, and then we kind of build the building blocks that culminate in your business plan, but not really a traditional business plan. Some of you may have heard of the lean canvas, or it's a kind of very nimble business model so that you can be adaptable to the consistent changes that are happening all around us. But we help you every step of the way. People will sometimes get started and decide they want to get through this in six weeks, and then sometimes people get started and they kind of do it over 6 months to maybe even 18 months. So it's really up to you. There's no one size fits all way to start a business, build a business, grow a business. And our job is to kind of figure out the note behind the note when we're talking with you. Sometimes entrepreneurs come to us and they have a vision, and sometimes they get that outside perspective and they hear from someone else like me, seasoned in the field, who says have you thought about this? Because I kind of think you might want to consider this. So we'll push your thinking as well, always mapping it back to what feels honest and true for you. So the eLab Incubator, one-on-one coaching, and then advising and mentorship. We're always building our mentor network. My main focus is to connect people to domain experts specific to the business challenges that they have, or specific to the business opportunities that they have. So if I don't know someone directly, or if we don't know someone directly in our network, I will roll up my sleeves and do whatever I can to find that specific expert that we can match them to. And that's been proving to be a really great way that we've been growing our community as well. And then, you know, the community events that we do, and then Ecosystem Navigator, which is our way of saying, okay, like, let's look at this vast ecosystem of opportunities and resources. It's kind of hard sometimes to know what is the right capital for my business, or am I ready for capital, or how much capital? I think some people start and they don't think that they're in a place that they're ready for some capital, but they actually might be. Or some people might start and think they are ready for hundreds of thousands of dollars, but there's more that we can do to kind of get them going, to prepare them for the right resources at the right time, on pace with how they're building their business. So we have relationships with other accelerator programs, with other resource providers, where we'll kind of match you. We're kind of like a quarterback, and we'll kind of match you and guide you down the field based at like where you are at. And just some examples of who's in the ecosystem. I mean, who entrepreneurs working with us, really, we truly support everyone from a small business owner all the way to like a high-tech growth business, and truly anywhere in between. So we're working with a woman starting a tech platform that's providing opportunities for knowledge and resource sharing and support for seniors in the healthcare space. We have someone starting a new high growth like apparel line, like a fashion forward scrubs line. We have a nonprofit business owner who is starting youth development programming for after school programs in the area. We have a bunch of Main Street innovators. We recently did a panel in the spring actually featuring one of Ocean's very own businesses, who happened to also be a Monmouth alum. She's a florist company and a community space called Fleur de Mer over off of Sunset. And Steady Hand Cafe, coffee spot in Bradley. We just won the state pitch competition out of 13 universities in the state. One of our entrepreneurs in our program is building a platform that is providing clinical trials to be more accessible to more people. We have done AI workshops. We just recently did our pitch competition with Jeff as the presiding judge. We had a brick and mortar in that space, a woman building a business that is providing interactive social story development for middle schoolers with autism. So I kind of list all these out to say, like, we kind of cover the full breadth, and the real through line is, you know, innovating your business model, adapting that business model to your needs, your desires, and the economic realities around you, macro, micro, and yeah, I think that's kind of what we do. I have my cards, and I'd say the best way, like I said, to get started is to reach out to me and really get to know you. Conversation, that's the best way for me to figure out how we can best support you.
Great, thanks, Allison. Yeah, so just to put like some clarity around this, so you know, I think both Jacqueline and Allison talked about this one-on-one sessions and how to utilize them. So really, even if things around customer acquisition, if you want to do better lead generation, get customers to party, if you want to have somebody look at your website and kind of say, okay, is this getting the right messaging across, product marketing, positioning, those kind of things, you know, all those things are available to talk to them about. So I read, you know, the things that you were looking for, and a lot of it was about how do you grow your business, how do you get more customers, how does all that occur. Both of these organizations happy to help you with that and sit down and talk to you. I might be one of the people that come in that she calls me up and says, hey, can you help me look at that? And I'd be happy to do that as well. So, at the macro level, it's about working with them and kind of talking about what you're trying to do with your business and where you are and where you might be stuck at, or how you kind of capitalize that, and then you can start going down the different disciplines and the different verticals in those disciplines on how to accomplish that. Right? So that's what they're kind of offering in both of those situations. And I think she did talk a lot about. They both talked a little about fundraising and all those kinds of things. So it's a big part in how we were looking at the IT community and the technology community, but that might not be your community, right? So it might be more that you're just trying to figure out how to organically grow, and on the organic growth part, you can still kind of get from them as well, right? So with that, I wanted to have Alberto talk from NJEDA. He's going to give you a little insight into, or a lot of insight into some of the programs that they have that are really designed for small businesses and businesses in the community, all right? All right, thanks.
Better everyone. Just give me 1 minute so I can pull up my presentation here.
Well, thanks for coming. You gotta work it. What?
Well, thank you for your presentations. My name is Alberto Garrido. I'm a small business liaison with the New Jersey Economic Development Authority. Are you guys familiar with the EDA? Yes? No? So we're part of the state government. We are basically tasked with seeing the growth of businesses in New Jersey. And we basically provide all types of resources for all types of businesses. My focus is on grants for small businesses. So I work for the Small Business Services Division. And I do this all the time. I do presentations. I have meetings with folks. Just trying to educate folks like yourself, entrepreneurs, into all the resources that we have available at the EDA that you can benefit from. Just to ask a show of hands, small business owners, yes? How many of you are home-based business owners? Okay, I have resources for you as well. Okay, so keep track with me, and we'll get this sorted. So basically we have 4 grants right now. Keep in mind, these grants are stackable, meaning that if you're eligible for all of them, you can apply for all of them at the same time, okay? They're open for for-profit and nonprofits as well, right? And they're all currently funded right now. So if you're, after this presentation, if you feel that that you're eligible for any of these grants, I encourage you actually to go online and see if you can apply, okay? So we're gonna talk about specifically the first 3 grants, and I'll go a brief overview about our newest product. We have a grant called the Small Business Lease Grant, which is basically a grant to help you offset your lease payments if you go into a new lease agreement. We have a grant, it's called the Small Business Improvement Grant, which is like a reimbursement grant. So you get money back that you already spent on your business. And we have an e-commerce grant that's basically to help you get your website up to date. Okay, we partner with different e-commerce consultants, and we sit you down with one of the consultants so you can work on your website. So I'll go into detail on each one. And the Main Street Acquisition Support Grant, if you're going to purchase a property, a commercial property from where you're going to operate from, the EDA can give you back as much as $50,000 in closing costs as well. All right? Okay. The lease grant. So this is a great resource. If you are home-based, looking to go into a brick-and-mortar location, you go into a new lease agreement, this could be a resource for you. If you have multiple locations, you're looking to expand, open a new location, you can do 1 application per location. If you're a developer, maybe you want to lease out some commercial space, this can be an incentive because you're going to still charge the same rent, but the tenant can benefit from this. So it could be an incentive to attract people to that space. So the most important thing is it's got to be at least a 5-year lease term. Okay, no 2-year, 1 year, month to month. It's got to be at least a 5-year lease term. It's got to be a street level space. So that means that people have to be able to walk into your business at a street level. So no 2nd or 3rd floor in a building unless you also occupy space at a street level. Right? Those are the main 2 requirements to qualify for this grant. How does it work? Once you're approved, the EDA will cut you a check for 20% of your 1st year annual lease payments. After you make 12 months of lease payments, we cut you another check for 20% of your 2nd year annual lease payments. That's the grant. 20% of your 1st and 2nd year annual lease payments, equivalent about 2.5 months worth of rent for each year. Okay. Landlord cannot have an ownership interest in the business. Basically, you cannot lease to yourself. Okay, that will make you ineligible. The space has to be at least 250 square feet. The grant will cover up to 10,000 square feet, but the space can be larger. We'll just do a formula so the benefit will be up to 10,000 square feet. And this is mostly intended for new leases, but if you want to try to qualify with a renewed or an amended lease, you have to add at least 250 square feet of additional space to that original lease. Okay, so if you're able to maybe at like say a restaurant, you have maybe a patio or like an outdoor space you can add as well, or a separate space next to the one that you're currently leasing. Again, you're able to add 250 square feet. That could make you qualify with a renewed or a amended lease. Okay, again, it's mostly for new leases. And once you sign the lease, we give you 12 months to apply for the grant. So if you sign a lease today, what's today? June 5th, 2025, you have until June 4th, 2026 to apply for this grant. Okay? All right. As I mentioned, you can do one application per location. So this is great if you're looking to expand, to grow, you can benefit from these on each location. Okay? If you have an incubator, which I heard somebody just talk about that right now, operators can apply for this grant, not the members, but the operators can definitely apply for this grant. Keep in mind, there is a wage and a time commitment. So if you're looking to benefit from this grant, you have to commit to pay your employees at least 120% of the minimum wage. If you don't have employees, this doesn't apply to you. If you pay more than that already, you don't have to worry about that. And this would go into effect once you are approved. Doesn't matter what you're paying right now. So once you're approved, you want to benefit from this, you have to commit to pay your employees at least 120% of the minimum wage. For businesses that have tipped employees, that's the minimum wage that we're going to look at, not the regular minimum wage. So there's different types of minimum wage, depending on the type of business that you operate. That's what we're going to look at. Okay? Again, if you don't have any employees, this doesn't apply to you. Okay? The time commitment is that we're required, if you're going to benefit from this, we're going to require you to stay in that location for at least 5 years, which would be at least the duration of your lease term. Okay? The one document that we do require for most of our grants products is the business tax clearance certificate. Okay? This is basically something you can process online. Tells us that you're up to date with your taxes. We give you instructions. There's a document checklist that you can download from our website. It's great. It's a PDF format. It's got clickable links. It'll tell you everything you need to know how to process each of the requirements that we're asking for. Okay. You have to be in good standing with the state, with the Department of Labor, Department of Environmental Protection. Basically, you cannot owe any money to the state or be in delinquent owing money with the state. This is something that just pops up in our system once we start processing your application. Okay. If you're approved, there's a $100 non-refundable fee, but the average grant amount is about $25,000, so I believe it's a pretty good deal. And the turnaround time. So if you apply today, you're going to hear in a couple weeks from us. Whoever's going to work on the application. The whole process, as long as we have all the documentation we need, all the information is there, could take up to 3 months. Okay? Any questions so far? All right. The improvement grant, some of our most popular grant. So this is the reimbursement grant. So with this grant, you can request, if you have a brick and mortar location, you can request to get reimbursed for repairs, improvements, and the purchase of new, keyword new, furniture, fixtures, or an equipment. Okay? Give you an example. Maybe, let's say this is a restaurant, and I bought tables, chairs, refrigerators, ovens. Maybe I did some work, some painting, the roof, electrical, plumbing. All those are items that you can get reimbursed. There's a 2-year look back. So as long as you save those invoices within that time frame, anything that you might have spent that could be eligible, you can then apply for this grant and request to get reimbursed 50% up to $50,000. Again, grant money. Okay? So I'll go a little deeper into this. So the minimum that you have to spend is $5,000 to get $2,500 back. But if you have $100,000 worth of eligible invoices, you can submit that, and the state will give you up to $50,000 back. Okay? If you do not own the space, we give you sort of like a landlord authorization form. So this is just so the EDA knows that your landlord is aware that you are the one who's applying for this grant, and you are the one who's going to benefit from this grant. This is for tenants, basically. If you own the space, doesn't matter. Then you can just apply for this grant. Okay. The wage and the time commitment for this as well. So if you get less than $25,000, the EDA will expect you to stay in that location for at least 2 years. If you get $25,000 or more, we expect you to stay in that location for at least 4 years, okay? There's no street level requirement for this grant, that's only for the lease grant. So please don't make that confusion because you can have a space anywhere in New Jersey with this grant. Only for the lease grant, you need to have a street level, okay? If you want to benefit from both, then yes, you would have to have a street level, okay? But if you only benefit from this, doesn't matter where you're at, okay? Home-based businesses. You can request to get reimbursed for the purchase of new furniture, fixtures, or equipment. Not repairs or improvements, because those are considered for us repairs or improvements to your home. Okay? I'll give you a scenario. Maybe you have a consulting business. Maybe in your home you have a space, dedicated to operate your business. Maybe you have a desk, computer, iPad, phone, printer. All those items could be eligible for reimbursement. Okay? Any questions so far? Yes.
Do you have to like do all of that before you apply, or can you like get your
Yes,
like,
good question.
invoices and then send them in, and then if you get approved, then do the work?
So since you are requesting a reimbursement, we're assuming that you have already spent that money, or if it's work that's being done that has been completed by the time that you apply, because you're gonna submit invoices. That's how we basically connecting the dots that your business purchased or requested a repair and improvement with within the application. So the only exception to that, if you're purchasing equipment and you go into like a payment plan and you're up to date with your payments by the time you apply, we can use that. Because that's basically a contract that you have with, to purchase that equipment or asset, and then that's what we can use instead of just the actual invoice that you have paid already. But yes, the easiest way to get processed is if everything has been paid, everything has been, the work has to be completed by the time that you apply. Again, 2-year look back. So if you got any invoices, that you might find that they're eligible. If you have over $100,000 worth of eligible invoices, I encourage you to submit more. Sometimes certain invoices have ineligible items within them that you're not aware of. Once you submit all the invoices, and once you submit your application, you're not going to be able to submit additional invoices. So if you find something else, you're not going to be able to include that in the application. So I always tell folks, before you click that submit button, make sure that all the information, all the documentation that you want to submit, it's there. Okay? Yes?
Two things. You said it has to be new equipment, so it can't be something you're buying used.
Correct.
And if you apply once and say you get $30,000 worth of receipts in 2 or 3 years, can you apply again to?
Yeah, good question. I was getting to that. One-shot deal. You can only apply for this once per the lifetime of your EIN. So if you get $30,000 the first time you come around, you can't come back for the other $20,000 later. So I always tell folks, get the maximum benefit from this because you can only try it once. Yes?
Does it apply to owners of multifamily housing,
Only for commercial.
or commercial?
Yes, this is all commercial resources. Okay? Some projects that we offer, some resources can be mixed use, but not for this. Yes.
Does it apply to some, like if I have a business and I'm gonna use it for a trade show, so it'll be off-site, like if I wanted to buy a booth?
So not necessarily. So anything that you're gonna request to get reimbursed has to stay in that in that site, basically. I'll give you an example. Sometimes, say cleaning service business, the vacuum cleaners would not be eligible because they go from site to site. Landscaping, same deal. The lawnmowers would not be eligible because they go from site to site. Okay. Yes.
2 questions. Excuse me, renovation to a commercial space is not included, or is it?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay.
Repairs, improvements, include renovations. Yeah.
Perfect. And then second question would be going back to the lease. If all employees are independent contractors, does that affect?
Anybody who's in your payroll, basically, over that 30. That's what we look at.
Okay, so if I give them 1099s, not included.
No. So we're going to look at whoever you have on payroll. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Hey, what's the catch?
The catch is that you're here. These resources are.
I'm gonna send you.
These grants are non-competitive. They're non-competitive. You're not competing against any other businesses. As long as you meet the requirements, I encourage you to apply.
You'll go through the requirements?
Yes, that's what I'm doing right now. But,
That's it?
well, there are some more. I mean, documentation. I'm going through. I just want you guys to get an idea of what the eligibility is. I can give everybody here my business card, so if you have any further questions, I'll be glad to follow up with you as well. Okay? Yes, 1 second, yes.
Is that for a nonprofit also?
Yes, so the way a nonprofit qualifies for this grant is that they have to have some sort of income related to the sale of a product or a service. So basically, you cannot have annual income solely based on donations. Okay? Best example I can think of is like childcare services, right? Some nonprofits, or they provide childcare services, consulting services. Maybe you sell something, a product. So that's how you can qualify as a nonprofit. Mhm. Yes.
What if some of your improvements have been already included in other grants outside of NJE?
So think of this concept of duplication of benefits, or double dipping, sort of say. So you cannot use any state funds for the same purpose twice. So basically, if you got a grant to pay for a repair or more, something in your business, maybe you needed to, change the roofs. Once we give you the grant money, though, okay, so this is like, say, the improvement grant. You get the check. There's not necessarily there's necessarily like a compliance of what you have to do with that money.
Yeah, that's not what I'm asking though. Like, when you send the bills, right, and let's say you've made some improvements, if part of those bills or part of those expenses, right, were already supported with another grant from another.
Yeah, that would not be eligible.
That would not be eligible.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. But again, once you get, say, you get the maximum benefit $50,000, we would love for you to, inject that into your business so you can continue to grow. But it's up to you what you do with that money. Yes.
To the question about what's the catch? So I got this from my small business. There was no catch. I got it a couple of years ago. It was great. I coached a former student of mine. I'm a professor at the university. I coached a former student of mine late last year through this, and he got just about all 50,000. And it was a simple application. He got it in about I'm sure it's not about timelines, but in 3-4 months, it was great. Okay.
So just so you guys are gonna have an idea of the funding that we have. The lease grant, it opened in 21. So these are obviously these were created during the pandemic, to help out businesses that were struggling economically. The lease grant opened in 21. We've distributed through that grant over $17 million already. With the improvement grant, we've distributed over $60 million already. This is only New Jersey businesses. So the money's there, okay? Anybody who gets a grant from the EDA will get a 1099 at the end of the year. So you do have to declare it as business income. You do not have to pay it back though, okay? Yes.
So I own a business where the majority of my employees work outside of the state of New Jersey.
Are they in payroll, in your payroll?
Yes.
That's what we look at.
That's it.
Who you have on payroll?
The jobs are moving outside of the state.
I mean, what you're gonna look for this grant? You're gonna look to get reimbursed maybe for some repairs or improvements that you did to your business?
Yeah.
Okay. And your business is in New Jersey, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, good.
All right, continue. So again, there's a 2-year look back, okay? What do we look for in the invoice? The most important thing, keep this in mind. The invoice has to be in the name of the business that is applying for the grant. Sometimes we pay out of pocket, to help our businesses. Maybe we have multiple businesses, we lend money from one business to the other. The only way that an invoice that is not in the name of the business that is applying for the grant to qualify or to be eligible is if, say, hypothetically speaking, I pay out of pocket from my business. If my business reimburses me first, so then prove, then get the request the state to get reimbursed. If that makes any sense. Okay? So again, we look for the name of the business that is applying for the grant on every invoice. Okay? The date, right? We look at the date just to make sure that it's within that 2-year time frame. The item, of course, to make sure it's an eligible item. And if it's something that was delivered, we look to make sure that it was delivered to the business, the address that it's on file for us. Okay? I already mentioned the wage requirement. And so for this one, as I mentioned, there's 1 application per EIN. Yes, sir.
Good question. Let's say you're in a facility and then you move to your active, and you're in a new facility, you have to add that.
So that's the compliance that you have to commit to. Okay, so if you do benefit from this, you get less than $25,000 from the improvement grant. You have to commit to take the allocation for at least 2 years. If you don't, you have to get that money back.
Well, I'm saying, like, if you're in a facility already and you spent money for your other facility that you used to work in, and you just moved in, are you able to go back into your receipts a year earlier and then use that for your new facility?
So no, so every receipt or every invoice that you're gonna submit is from the business where you're operating from. If it's other businesses, then that would not work. Yeah. So, and what I was about to say, if you have multiple locations under the same EIN, you have to do one application across all locations. Okay, not like the lease grant that you can do one application per location. With this one, if you have multiple locations, it's one application per EIN. If you have multiple businesses with different EINs, one application per EIN. So you can do one application per business. Okay. And then this is very similar to the lease grant, just the other requirements that you have to be in good standing with the state and with the Department of Labor, Environmental Protection as well. Yes, and you basically, you cannot be in any type of delinquency with any other state assistance that you might have received. Again, we require the business tax lien certificate as a part of the requirements for this grant as well. Yes?
Is software considered equipment?
So hardware is eligible, software is not. Okay? So say that you have the computer, the iPad, the phone, all those could be eligible, but any software, any monthly fees or any service that you might have, that will not be eligible. Surveillance cameras, okay? The installation is eligible. The cameras are eligible. The monthly fee to run it would not be eligible. Okay? Let me go through some of the things that are not eligible so you guys get a better idea. So again, software is not eligible. Soft costs are not eligible. Right? So say that you need to do some repairs and you maybe need to process some permits or you need some architectural or engineering design. Those would not be eligible. Landscaping is not eligible either. Okay? Anything that has wheels on it is usually not eligible. Okay? So food trucks, boats, even the lawnmowers that have wheels, not eligible either. Okay. I wish I had a very good explanation of why that is, but it's just part of the of the rules of the program. Yeah. If you're home based, just make sure that it's not attached to the house. Anything that you're looking to get reimbursed. Okay. So say let's say that this is a TV and it's mounted in the wall, will not be eligible. If it's freestanding, it would be eligible. Same with the bookshelf. It's like mounted in the wall, would not be eligible because then it's considered part of your home, basically. So we need to have like very freestanding as well. So just keep that in mind. Okay. All right. Let's see. E-commerce. So with e-commerce, we have a great resource. We partner with 7 different e-commerce consultants throughout the state. So this is intended for restaurants, retail stores, and personal care businesses. Retail store, as long as somebody can walk into your business and purchase either a product or a service, they can be considered a retail store under this grant. Okay. For this one, for the improvement grant, turnaround time, 4 to 6 months. Okay. For this one, days, because you contact the consultants that you wish to work with directly. So there's no application for this grant. So basically, if you qualify under any of these 3 sectors, you have that physical commercial location, right? This is not for home-based businesses. Then we basically pay any of the consultants that you wish to work with. You do your homework, you see, what type of work they do, what fits your business needs better, give them a call, have a conversation with them. They are the ones who assess your eligibility, not us. We basically just cut them a check for up to $11,400 so you can sit with them and work on a number of solutions, including just optimizing your website, creating a digital marketing platform, online reservations, online, you want to sell products, we can set up an online store. And again, for some of the solutions, they even provide training so you can continue to work on them after you're done working with them. Okay? These are the consultants that we're working with. All this information that I'm talking about, that I'm speaking right now, I have all that in flyers right here, and actually in a lot more detail as well. So you're welcome to grab that before you leave today. And again, so you basically choose who you want to work with, give them a call, and with that conversation, they let us know if you're eligible. If you are, we pay them so you can sit and work with them. Okay? All right, and very quickly, these are the grants that we have. We also provide financing, right? If you're looking to purchase commercial property or fixed assets, we do have different financing products. If you are interested in financing, reach out to me. I'll make that connection with the business banking department so you can have a conversation with them and they'll help you navigate all your financing options with the EDA. Okay? So I just want to very quickly just show you guys the different products that we have for financing. Depending on the amount that you need, there's a different product for it. Okay? So we lend anywhere from $100,000. Now actually it's up to $5 million. Okay? We have products that we can work with the banks. We have products that we work with community lenders. Okay? We also do direct financing as well. So depending on the type of resource that you need, if it's financing, reach out to me and I'll make that connection. And just very briefly, this is one of the financing products that we have, the NJ Capital Access Fund. No minimum credit score required, no collateral required. Get up to $250,000 working capital. Not interest free. I wish that was the case, but they are very competitive. Yeah. So with this one, I believe it goes maybe up to 10 points, 10%, up to. It's up to, depends on your credit, credit. So again, all these resources are available at the state right now. If you have any questions, again, just I'll be here for a little while more. Come talk to me, get my business card, and I'll be glad to follow up with you. Thank you.
So, first of all, thank you, Alberto, for doing all that, and a lot of good information. So, we're passing around, just a survey form. Just if you could fill it out before you leave, that'd be great. Just wanted to get a little feedback on how you're all thinking about this, and generally, was this an okay session for everybody? Very good. Great to hear. So we're going to be doing more of these, right? This is just our first entree. I thought we could put this together pretty quickly, even though pretty quickly ended up being about 10 weeks. I do want to thank Regina for her help for the chamber, kind of getting the word out and all that stuff, and also all the presenters for all the work they did to kind of get to this point. And also, if there's anything that you feel like, if you look me online, you can see some of my background. If you ever thought that you wanted me to help you and talk about your business, I'd be happy to do that too, in addition to all the work that these all do. And I do a fair amount of mentorship through a venture fund I'm a partner with, and through the work I do with Monmouth University and other things. So happy to help you any way I can. All right. So fill those out. There is no prize for filling it out. Oh no, there is Chick-fil-A. I didn't know if you knew this, but Chick-fil-A does do breakfast. So that was, what? Yeah, just hand it before you leave. So thanks a lot, and look for more stuff to come. And if you wanted to text me or email me, I think you all have my email address. We'll get you on a mailing list to make sure we get more information to you. Okay? Thanks much, everybody. Everybody's going to be sticking around if you want to ask questions and stuff.